was like, what do we need to get rid of? Honey, stop! Listen, focus. I want to run out of space. Hey guys, so today Erin and I are going to talk about minimalism and really our journey into minimalism and comparing how we were before. Because before, I would definitely say we were both hoarders, right?
Yeah. My biggest thing was clothing. Yeah, that was my hoarding.
Yeah, definitely. Like, serious hoarding. And we were not like, we aren't the kind of minimalists who have like evolved from spending and buying a bunch of stuff to then not. It's really just been that we kept, like, we didn't spend much, but we kept everything. Like, we both had clothes since like high school, like early high school, and that has been way too many years ago.
And the thing is like, it surprised me that fit, but I realized back then I wore all my clothing baggy, so I mean it.
Yeah, so he kept wearing clothes that should have been too small for him, but he sort of grew into them eventually, and just never got rid of anything. I never got rid of anything, and I think it was because of this feeling of like, well, we don't buy things, and so we need to keep everything we have so that we have plenty and all this stuff, and sort of that feeling of like scarcity, maybe. Like there's just not enough, or what if we need this, or what if we don't have the money for it one day, or and we just kept everything, like everything. And it got so bad, like Erin's laundry.
We couldn't just do it at the house. We'd have to go to the laundromat, pretty much fill up one whole row of washing machines.
I sort of wish that we had footage of what our house and our clothes were like before, but we would have never taken it, because at that time we were too like embarrassed of all the things we had, all the dirty clothes. Like,
I wouldn't have to wash anything for 2 months because I had so much work clothes.
He would wear a new outfit every single day until there was a mountain, like as tall as me, of laundry.
Work clothes.
Of work clothes. Yeah, he had very few like clothes that he would wear out day to day, but somehow he had so many work clothes because to him, anything that got a hole or a stain or was worn out,
work clothes,
it became work clothes, and so he never got rid of anything, and it was like really unhealthy.
It was
extremely unhealthy. And then, but the same for me. Like, I didn't necessarily have a ton of work clothes, but I just had so many things that, because I'm pretty free with my style. Like, I will wear a lot of things because I have a very broad style, but I would keep things that really weren't my favorite style and kept them for years and years and years, from high school, from college, all these things that I really didn't wear, and I wore such a small amount of my clothes, and then just had all these other clothes that I would sort through and pick from sometimes, but it was just unhealthy for both of us, all the clothes we had, because there was no way to manage it.
No, there wasn't. And
we became so stressed out.
Yeah, because we're like, and like in my clothes, I didn't really want to put it in our washer anyways, because my clothes got really nasty.
Yeah, they were filthy from where he did mechanic type stuff, and they were greasy and oily, and that wasn't the only thing. It wasn't just the clothes. It was kitchen stuff. It was bedroom and bathroom stuff. Just all these things that we
had excess of.
We did. Like when we moved in together, before we got married, we both lived on our own, and we each had enough stuff to fill a house. Mm-hmm. And then we brought all of that stuff in together into a little apartment.
Oh, man,
tiny apartment together. And wondered why we could never get things clean and organized.
And we're like, we were like, well, we just moved one mess from one place to another.
We were like, we just don't have enough organization. We don't have enough storage.
That's what we thought.
What we thought.
And then we had enough storage. I mean, I had a storage unit.
Stuff.
Yeah, it was just too much.
We had plenty of storage if we had the right amount of things, but we just had way too much, and we just thought it was a storage issue. But
it wasn't.
It wasn't. It was way more than that. We were so stressed out though with each other, like because he expected me to clean and I expected him to clean. We expected each other. We each wanted help, but it was so overwhelming, and like we didn't know where to start half the time.
So we just left it alone.
It was seriously like we didn't have anybody over to our house, guys, because
never, ever.
It was so bad. We were just overrun with things, so many things that it was nearly impossible to get clean and organized, and so it like caused trouble in our relationships because we both worked so much worked way too much, and had too much work to do at home.
Not to mention homework too.
Yeah, because we were in school. We were both in school.
Yeah.
And so it was just so overwhelming, and we didn't even realize how bad it was, and that was our issue. Until we'd been wanting to move, and I got an opportunity to move, and it was going to involve us relocating to another state for my job. And we knew it was going to be a great opportunity, though, so immediately, I called Aaron and just told him about my initial interview, and he was like, yeah, let's take it. He's like, go for it. If this opens up for us, we need to go. We need to take it. So everything happened so fast. The opportunity came up, and within 2 weeks, I had a job, and we were moving out of our apartment within 2 weeks.
2 weeks. But at the time, which I was surprised we actually were able to move in 2 weeks, because I had a bad back too. So
yeah, he was injured. So we were trying to tackle this crazy mess of an apartment. Just us. Thankfully, our parents and our siblings helped.
Yeah.
But his back was hurt. It was just so overwhelming. But the way we had to do it so fast, we just had to move everything into storage, just so that I could, in time, get into the new city and start my job. And so we were just going to be staying with friends until we found a permanent place, and then move our stuff out of storage. And so for almost 2 months, we were living
out of duffel bags.
Out of duffel bags. We each had a duffel bag, and I think an extra small bag of things.
Backpack.
Just clothings. Yeah, each a duffel bag and a backpack of clothing, of a few of our essential items. Laptops and stuff like that. I even think that you brought your Xbox.
I did.
Those few things in our cars, and that was it. So we had our 2 vehicles. We had our basically just living out of suitcases. And we did that. And after a few weeks, we just realized, I remember for me especially, I realized how little stress I had, even starting a new job, moving, all this stuff. And I just felt really free, unburdened, you know? I don't know about you, but I know that we weren't stressed with each other.
No. With me, it was a relief not to have to, I could, if I needed to, wear a pair of jeans over, maybe not the next day, but not have to just put them in the dirty clothes because they weren't completely covered in grease or nastiness.
And you could do all of your clothes that you had in one load.
In one load, yeah, all one load.
It was absurd, because we were used to having to dedicate 2 days to just get a fraction of the laundry done.
Whenever we moved, we threw away 6 bags of just completely worn out clothes that I had since high school, that were work clothes.
50-gallon trash bags.
Yeah.
6 of them, and some things were okay, so we donated the things that were still intact, but that were just, he did not need that many.
I hate spending money on work clothes when
you can just use worn out.
I can use worn out clothes, and that was my whole thing. I was and the thing is, I'd wear clothes until it was pretty much they were
falling apart.
Yeah, and then I was almost, and I was close to should I really throw them away? I mean, I can still wear them.
They were disintegrating, okay? They were so worn out, so tired, but we were talking about it, and I was honestly, you need five sets of work clothes, maybe 6, because he worked some weeks 6 days a week, a lot of the time. But really no more than that. So 6 shirts and 6 pairs of pants. And he had bags and bags, right?
Oh yeah, bags and bags and bags.
That we got rid of. And it was such a relief, though. When it came down to it, and we were trying to decide, and we were talking, we were what do we need to get rid of? I would say, how about this? He would, to everything, he was toss it, get rid of it, donate it, every single thing. He was so tired and fed up.
I was so, and I got to the point, I was it's going in the trash, just kind of.
Yeah, just tossing, right?
Yeah,
Because we were so worn out and exhausted from trying to manage all of that. So we were sort of forced.
Yeah, forced
into minimalism. And that's how it started. And so.
It was a huge slap in the face.
Yeah, we didn't even know what minimalism was. I knew what minimalist style was, when it came to home decor and things like that. But we didn't know what living a minimalist lifestyle was until that. And it was really interesting because as soon as that happened and we moved, I was watching a few people on YouTube and started seeing some people who were living minimalist lifestyles and seeing them talk about it. And I realized that that's what we were doing. Even though we didn't choose it originally, we had been living free of all those things that were weighing us down. And we felt such relief. We were able to spend our time doing so many other things and didn't have to worry about managing all of our stuff and taking care of all of our stuff. And I was like, Aaron, this minimalist thing, like, I think that this is something we need to do. And so the longer it got, like, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, and then it got time to where we were going to move into our permanent home, and we were thinking about going and getting our stuff out of storage, and we both were kind of like,
I don't wanna.
yeah, like, we don't even want to get our things, like, literally all of our belongings.
But at the same time we did, because, like...
There were some things.
Like our beds.
Yeah, like, we needed our own beds, of course. We were happy to get our beds and not be using someone else's bed all the time. Like, he loves his memory foam bed, yes. And so... there were certain things that obviously were necessities. We needed to get them, and we were happy to get them back. But for the most part, we were like, we could count on like 2 hands the things that we really missed and want to go back and get. And everything else, it's been kind of like...
Can we just sell it?
Yeah, let's just sell it. Let's donate it. Let's get rid of it. And now, guys, this has been... We're coming up on a year. It's almost the end of May now, and it was July last year that this happened, like the middle of July. So in like 6 or 7 weeks, it'll be a year that, yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's when we made the decision and had to move out of our apartment and everything.
Had to start moving.
Yeah, July last year. It was right around your birthday, actually.
Yep.
And we stayed with his parents for the last week of July until the actual move happened and I started my new job and all of that kind of stuff. And so, like, now after a year, our storage unit is still almost full.
Yeah.
And thankfully, we've not been paying for that storage unit all this time. His family owns it. So,
yeah,
because if not, we would have sold that stuff like months ago, probably.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But there are a few things in there that we do still need to get. But otherwise...
Most of it can go.
Yeah, we're just planning a time to go back and sell and then donate whatever is left because we've just realized we don't need it. Yeah. And like, life is so much easier and simpler without it. So much.
So by minimizing our stuff, we realized that instead of being so concerned about taking care of all this stuff, junk, whatever, we... That's, I mean...
Pretty much what it is, junk.
All that junk in your trunk. But, sorry. But, like, we realized that, we were able to focus on things outside of all the stuff. We realized we wanted to we had dreams in business and stuff like that we can actually focus on now instead of worrying about the other crap.
It's true. That's really true. Like, we couldn't even see outside of all of the clutter. And now, with moving that out of the way, like he said, there were dreams that we talked about back then, but we weren't even, like, close to pursuing them. It was always just, like, dreams, like, out there, that, like, you can't quite get. And now it's, like, stuff that we're actively working on now to make it happen. Because we're like, hey, we can do this. Like, we have the ability, we have the capability, like we have the drive, we have the freedom to do things that we want to do. We're still on a journey, guys, and we're excited to take you all along with it. And there are going to be more videos like this. We're actually going to show you some of our decluttering process because, like we said, we still have a ton of stuff.
Yep.
Ton of stuff that we need to get rid of. Now, we've already determined we need to get rid of it, but we're going to show you, like, going through that process and how to sort through that and how to do it the best way, creating the least waste and, like, actually producing money by selling things and then donating things to people who need it. So more on that to come. And hey, if you have any tips that have really helped you in your minimalism journey, definitely comment them down below because we would love to hear different ways, different tactics and angles that you've approached that. And if you have any questions for us and kind of how it's affected us or anything like that, also comment those down below. Make sure to like this video, and subscribe if you're not already. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.